Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. We have a special guest on the line, Odessa Jenkins. Welcome.
What's good? What's good? What's good? Good morning.
Good morning, Odessa.
I was looking in the background for your gold medal. That's what I was looking for. I was looking for the gold medal in the back.
Yeah, it's hanging back there.
Oh, yeah, all right. I see it.
You got to tell the people who she is. She's a U.S. gold medalist, Hall of Famer, national championship football star. Now she's a coach and tech executive. I heard her on the Cut to It podcast with Steve Smith Sr., and I was like, man, that's a phenomenal story.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. I got so much love for the Breakfast Club and what y'all are doing. And shout out to Steve Smith and all the guys in the NFL that continue to show me support. It's real dope.
So what is the Wnfc for people who don't know?
Yeah, so the Wnfc is the highest level of women's tackle football in the country. So for about 80 years, women have been playing professional organized tackle football. And a lot of people don't know that. And I played for a decade and I was at the top of the game. Just think about the top running back on the planet, right? Mm-hmm. Nick Chubb, Alvin Kamara, all these guys, right? Ezekiel Elliott, think about them all. And I was coaching in the NFL, or I was interning in the NFL, and I saw all these amazing things that these men were getting. And I was at the top of the game, top player, just won a world championship, a national championship, and nobody knew me. They didn't know who I was. They didn't know who my teammates were. They didn't know anything. So I thought, if we've been doing this for 75 years and I'm at the top of the game and nobody knows who we are, then we're doing it wrong. And so I got with some investors and got with all the smartest people I knew, and I went and did it, because I think that if you want something to get better, sometimes you just got to go do it.
How was it for you seeking out investors? Were people very receptive and supportive, or was it challenging?
It was challenging, and it continues to be. I think that for me, I finally had to kind of knuckle up and put up some of my own cash, right? Like, if I really believe in it, if you really got to hustle, you have to be willing to spend your own bread to make sure that it gets there. So initially it was tough, but we get it out the mud. I've been grinding my whole life for what I want and what I believe in. And I believe that women's professional football is far too late. I think it's the last frontier in sports. If you think about it, everybody has a counterpart except for the NFL. Well, now, except for now. So it was tough, and it continues to be tough. But I think if you prove your value, then you'll get investors.
So how does the league work? Are there owners for different teams? Or how does it work? How many teams are there?
Yeah, so there's 20 teams all across the country. We got teams from Seattle, Washington to Washington, D.C., the Washington Prodigy and the Seattle Majestics, all cool names. But the way it works is we have 20 individual owners. They're locally owned and operated. And so what we're trying to do is improve the value of the team, just like they do in all the other leagues, right? You want the team to be worth something so that you can pay your players, just like any other business. And so right now, a lot of our teams are transitioning from non-for-profit organizations to for-profit organizations once they turn revenue. So our process right now is, let's get them built up. Let's get the business right. Let's start generating some revenue over some years so that we can pay these players.
I'm glad you said that, because, when it comes to basketball, there's always this stigma. And it's like, oh, the women players don't make as much as the men players. It's like the women's WNBA doesn't generate nowhere near as much money as the NBA does.
Yeah, you have to prove your value. I think some of that is due to the product itself, but frankly, some of it is due to the world, right? It's a $66 billion sponsorship market. Men get 99.4% of those dollars. Like, yeah, I think there's a bit of a gap in between probably the entertainment value and the value of the product, but you're telling me it's a 99.4% gap? Like, women can't get 1% of the 66 billion. I think some of that is the problem with the world, not just the WNBA or women's basketball. If you don't point a camera at it, if you don't invest in it, then how can you truly know what it can be?
It's so crazy to me that talking about women's football, it's so bugged that the lingerie league gets so much advertising and promotion. And then I heard of the lingerie league before I heard of the WNFC.
Well, that's because we used to work for MTV too, and they used to air lingerie football.
Nah, but even before that, you would see, it seems like they get more promotion than the WNFC. Honestly, I've never seen a WNFC game ever. But
I've never heard of the WNFC till I heard of Odessa on Cut to It, to be honest.
It's true.
You heard of the Lingerie League, which is wild to me, you know? So y'all must look at the Lingerie League as some little, like, this is just some okie doke stuff.
Yeah, like, so if you think about it, well, first of all, sex sells. You have women doing anything naked, people are gonna watch it. We can call it what we wanna call it, but the Lingerie League is a whole different product. It's a product that can be more popular because, I mean, you put 8 women or 7 women, however many play, I ain't never watched it, but you put 8 women, 6 women half naked, some of them models, actresses or whatever, and run them around and act like it's football and put some NFL guys on the sideline. Hell yeah, it's gonna be entertaining. But that doesn't mean it's the same product as professional women's football, the top athletes in the country playing the game we love. And so I think that's the challenge we have, right? Is people act like when it's women that you got to choose one or the other. You got to choose tits or you got to choose the real thing. That's not the world I live in. I think you can do both. Whatever you're into, there should be something available for you.
You see the impact of having women getting more coaching jobs in the NFL and more attention to the WNFC? Like, do you see that there'll be more support coming from the NFL as women are getting into these positions in the front office and coaching? Do you think there'll be a parallel?
Absolutely. And I think there is a parallel. So most of the women all of the women who you're seeing on the news who are getting jobs in the NFL, who are like my girl, Callie Bronson last night just made history with the Browns. We played on the U.S. national team together. She's the first female to ever be a position coach in the NFL. She's on our board. We played together. That girl can go. Katie Sowers, we played together. We had battles together, Kansas City versus Dallas. I mean, these are women who've been working for decades and decades and decades. Everything that happens in public usually is worked for decades before. I know y'all had a lot of people on your show. They don't come here and say, well, I woke up yesterday and started playing music and now I'm a star. It's just not how it works. So I think that women getting chances in the NFL and women getting chances in professional football and even the college ranks is going to continue to make people go, well, where are women playing at? And that's where the WNFC comes in.
Are there any teams in New York, New Jersey area?
No, we don't have a team in New York yet. We need one.
I would love to. What's the closest? I want to take my daughter to the game. My daughter plays flag right now. That's where it starts. She plays flag. She's pretty good. I really think that she would really enjoy watching this.
There's a team in Philly. There's a team in Philly. There's a team in Washington, D.C. There's a team in Carolina. There's a team in Florida. There's a team down in Atlanta. Like, if you want to travel to some big cities and see some great teams. The other thing that's unique about us is that we try to get into cities that not just have support for women's football, but we try to get with teams around the country who want to do it the way we do it. Because there's a lot of options. As you said, there's lingerie, there's other leagues. But for me, I'm building professional tackle football. I don't have no other alternative.
Are transgenders allowed in the league?
So we do have a transgender policy. It's probably the less lenient of all the transgender policies in sports. Mm-hmm. Our women's tackle football in the WNFC is for women.
What does that mean?
That means that you have to have transitioned physically in order to play in our league. So here's the thing. Here's the crazy thing about women's football that's different from the WNBA. Like, we don't have a 10-foot court to try to reach. It's not missing the dunk. A hit is a hit. We got quarterbacks that can throw the ball 70 yards, people who move fast, people who do things. You saw the young lady, Sarah Fuller, the other day kicking off at Vanderbilt. Like, we can kick field goals. Football's a different game. You put 11 people out there that can move very fast, and there's no really difference in the translation of the sport like it is in basketball in a lot of ways. The WNBA has a lot of excitement to it, but it's just different. I don't think you need to put different genders on the field or on the court to make it exciting. I think you just got to play the game your way. We're not going to do it the same as the men. That's one thing we need to all realize, is that we're not going to get where we need to get trying to carbon copy something. We need to do it our way.
I think if because you know it's the things about men basketball like the dunking, right? Like it's just something as simple as that. So it's like when you see Brittany Griner dunk, you're like, oh shit, let me start watching women basketball. It's something that simple.
It's true. No, listen, the fact that the dunk is missing makes it a little less exciting, but I think there's different reasons to appreciate the game. Like you watch the game for different ways. Steph Curry don't dunk very often. I don't see anybody trying to miss a Warriors game when he's out there dropping 60. Like I always thought about it, if he could play in the NBA, and obviously he does it at the highest level, but if we just out here shooting threes, then I could hoop with you.
Yeah, if it was about fundamentals, WNBA would be, everybody would love the WNBA. If it was just about straight fundamentals, the basics of basketball, absolutely.
Yeah, but I think reasons, the WNBA being connected to the NBA, I don't know all the way helps them in a lot of ways. Because if you think about, if you go overseas and watch that basketball, that women's basketball, it's more physical. They don't have to worry about what uniforms they're wearing. They can play a different style of ball. I think that here in America, we have a certain ideal about what women can do and how physical they can be, which is why we tell lacrosse players that they have different rules in men's lacrosse than they do in women's lacrosse, and women's hockey can't be as physical as men's hockey. I think once we get out of our own heads as women, frankly, then our sports will translate.
Now,
So
what do you see as your goal for the WNFC moving forward? Because I know you have a whole plan, like a 5-year plan, then a 10-year plan. So what do you see in the future?
Yeah, I want to create the biggest women's sports organization in the history of the world. I want to have a place for little girls who are listening to this, or fathers and mothers that are like you said, and be like, yo, my daughter plays flag. Like, I want a place for your daughter to be able to play professional tackle football if that's what she chooses. I want her mind to be open to the idea that that can be a job for her when she grows up, that her daddy can watch her play ball when she gets older. That's the goal. That's what I'm building. Ultimately, like I said before, the business has to be built. The value has to be there. This game is beautiful if you do it right. And I'm betting on us. I'm betting on the fact that we're going to get investments, that we're going to continue to create a beautiful product. And in 5 years, we're going to be paying women to play in the WNFC.
I mean, I love it because we teach our daughters that you can do anything that a boy can do, right? You can do anything a boy can do. So when my daughter, wanted to play flag football, of course, the older parents, the older grandparents, that girl shouldn't be playing, but she loves it and she enjoys it. But then it's like, I didn't know there was anything after really elementary because, they play the elementary, then where do they go? Of course, boys have a high school team, they have a middle school team, but the girls don't. So I think this is a great and gives women and little girls an opportunity to do things that they just think is cool and that they love, enjoy. And they shouldn't have to be like, well, I'm not a boy, I can't play. So, I love this. I absolutely love it. I'm a support. So I'm looking at highlights right now from all the different things. And it's amazing to me. I'm mad that I didn't know about this sooner,
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Odessa.
No, I was saying, like, when you watch it for the first time, this is why I think we got something special. Because when you watch this for the first time, like, if you go on our website and look at those highlights, that's football. Yeah. Like, I get it as women, but that's football. People get put on their head.
You don't see women. You just see somebody getting hit, somebody catching and running for 70 yards. That's what you see. And it's like, wow. Like, it's
but here's the thing. I'm all for it, but we do know the NFL is dangerous, right? We don't even know if the NFL is going to be around in the future just because of how dangerous it is. So is this a good investment?
It absolutely is. The NFL ain't going nowhere. NFL is one of the most powerful businesses with some of the most powerful men and women on the planet. It ain't going anywhere. There's always going to be somebody playing tackle football in our country. It is the sport that continues to grow. And you can capitalize on it or not, like that, it depends on where your mind is. But the fact that girls playing football is growing by 300% a year. I was talking to the Boys and Girls Club, and they created this Thursday play program where little girls play flag. In 1 year, they had 200 girls playing. The next year, they had 60,000 girls across the country who wanted to play flag football. If you build it, these girls will come. The fact that there isn't junior high school and high school football for girls is ridiculous for us. If you think about it, Why not? So I don't think it's going anywhere. I think it's a great investment. I think somebody who gets in at the right time is going to get rich.
I wonder why not football though? Because I'm thinking about it, like you said, like they've always had it for baseball, they have it for basketball, volleyball. Like why not football? It's like every sport. Why not football?
It's the last frontier, I think. And I know I can keep it real with y'all, but I think that in our heads, we truly haven't come to grips with the fact that women can do anything they want to do. Mm-hmm. I think that equality hurts people's brains and hearts sometimes. It's hard for us to look at our little girl and for real not give her limits as moms and dads. Yep. And football is limitless. You go out there and you run 100 miles at somebody and you pop them. It's hard for people to get out of their own heads that women shouldn't be doing this.
No, you're right. Because I saw Sarah Fuller this weekend, and the first thing I said to myself was, why? Why do you want to go out there and get hit by a man, Sarah Fuller? Like, that was my mentality immediately.
Like, you got to realize Sarah's a beast. Sarah was born to do that. Like, you can't think that men are just born to be ball players, but women aren't. Like, what chemical thing would keep a woman from not being born to play? I was born to play ball. I've been playing ball since I knew what it was. Mm-hmm. I was out on the street to watch doing that because that was natural for me. It was natural to run and hit and compete. So your daughter can be a competitive engineer or whatever it is at the highest level, but sports, like, something stops when she wants to compete. Sarah Fuller is 6'2", 200 plus.
And you know what? You realize it. I realize because my daughter does the gymnastics. She does the typical girl thing you're supposed to put your daughter in, right? You put her in gymnastics, you put them in ballet, you put them in cheerleading. But then, since she has brothers here, half the time when I come downstairs, somebody's crying. It's my son, because my daughter done ran him over, right? And that's both of them. So when you put them in flag football, you realize she can still do the gymnastics and flip and do tumbles, but she loves playing with her brothers. She loves playing with the boys. And
I guess it is a mind thing. Like, I didn't know Sarah Fuller was that big, but even still, I'd have to see her get hit by like a Bobby Wagner or somebody. And if she get up, I'm like, all right, Sarah, what do you think?
Sarah don't want to get hit by Bobby Wagner. That's not my point. I know when I played, I didn't want to play against men.
That's okay. That's my point. Okay, that's what I'm saying. All right. Okay.
No, I'm not here promoting the WNFC and the NFL merge.
I can't know.
Oh, no.
Okay, that's all I'm saying.
These guys are too big.
That's all I'm saying.
No, listen, I was a cold running back. Cold, as good as it gets. I wouldn't want to meet Patrick Willis in a hole to save my life.
That's all I'm saying, Odessa. Because I was like, that's why I said, why? I'm like, yo, why she want to go out there and play with the guys for? Like, what? But now you got a league for her.
Exactly. Like, she's amazing. Don't get me wrong. But I got a kicker that can kick 50-yard, 40-yard field goals every day. She can close her eyes and do it. She's been doing it for 2 years, right? But it's a big deal because there's no other place for Sarah to do it right now. Mm-hmm. If she wants to be a kicker and play football in college, where's she going? So you can't get mad at her for taking advantage of the opportunity that was in front of her. Now, for me, I want to create another opportunity for her. I want college football for her. College flag football just became a sport this year. Shout out to all my girls who are coaching college flag football. And hopefully that will progress to tackle football and making that available to women.
What do you think your league needs to get to that next level?
I think we need money. We need money because money solves a lot of problems for businesses. More than money though is we need cameras, we need promotion, we need. I think if the production value of our product went up, the excitement of our product would go up. So that thing that happened in the NFL right in the 70s, the mid 70s, when the cameras came and the Chicago Bears became them dudes, that's what we need to happen in women's tackle.
Shuffle.
Yeah. It became a national thing and so many more broadcasts and television stations invested in it. I think the media has a huge responsibility to the advancement of professional women's sports.
I have two questions. Where are you guys playing? Because I'm looking here and it doesn't seem as big and luxurious. So where are these teams playing?
Yeah, so we don't own stadiums. So that's part of the issue, right? Is football is expensive.
Right.
We're 8 times the size of the WNBA. So the WNBA has 12 players for 12 teams. We have 40 players for 20 teams. That's like 800, 800 players. So we usually play in college stadiums and high school stadiums in our state. I'm in Dallas. I don't know if y'all ever been here, but as soon as you get off the highway, there's a big old giant stadium on every corner. So it's different here. But in cities like Philly, they play at high schools, they play at JUCOs, junior colleges, and stuff like that.
And who's the biggest player right now in the WNFC? Would you say?
I would say there's a couple players. There's a quarterback in Kansas City named Liz Sowers. She's a pretty big deal in the WNFC. There's a wide receiver named Elizabeth Landry, who if I had to close my eyes and somebody said, pick one of the most athletic women in your league for us to go put in the NFL draft, that's who I'd send.
Yeah, I think it's only a matter of time. I think a lot of stigmas around women's sports are eradicating. Like I found myself, and it's probably because I've been following her career for so long. Like Asia Wilson, she from the crib, she's from South Carolina. So I've been watching her since she was at, the Gamecocks, and she's dope. So I followed her into the WNBA. Now she's the MVP. So I just think it's a matter of like you said, people putting eyeballs on it.
Yeah, and the city's got to come in and put their arms around it, right? Like, there's a lot of pride in this. There's a linebacker named Carla Odom. They call her Smiley. She plays in Atlanta. If y'all watch this woman play, she is Ray Lewis, with estrogen. Like she is too much. She's a star. She's beautiful. She's got this great, beautiful physique, but she plays balls to the wall. People like that are people that the world should know. There's some stars in this league.
Carla Odom.
Has you a deal with Adidas or any of these other brands trying to do some things with WNFC?
Yeah, that's kind of one of the things that differentiated the WNFC is that we were the first women's kind of pro contact league to ever get a major sponsor. So Adidas stepped up with us when we first started the league and were a founding sponsor. So we have a multi-year deal with them. We have a multi-year deal with Riddell Sports, because one of my concepts for the business is if it doesn't look professional, people won't take us seriously. We need to all be wearing the same brand. We need to all be having the same standards. So we all wear Riddell helmets. We all wear Adidas uniforms. And that's what Adidas and Riddell are doing for us. They are helping us step our game up to a level of professionalism. So when Envy says, yo, this just looks like athletes, this is like a football players, that's on purpose.
Gotcha.
Y'all have I'm on the website. Is there a way to, I don't know, invest in the WNFC?
Yeah, so we don't have like a public investment page, but if you go to the contact us or the join us, it'll tell you all about the league, or you can just contact me directly.
Okay.
Y'all ain't got no Carolina team.
Yeah, we do. Carolina Queens.
Carolina Queens. That's a third one up here. Okay, where they play at?
I don't know where they're going to play this year. Coronavirus kind of killed some of our stadium deals and that kind of stuff.
I want to invest in the Carolina Queens.
Yeah, let's go.
Because I'm a queen from the Carolinas.
You sure are a queen.
So I want to invest in the Carolina Queens.
I would love that.
I'm serious.
Trust me, I'm going to follow up with you. You said it. You're going to have to turn me down now.
Follow me too. I don't know. I know you don't have a New York team, but we got to get one together, man. We need.
Yeah, man. So here's what's crazy, Envy. There's so much going. Like LA and New York are challenging because there's so many other things going on in the city that when the big names come in, like I think the right ownership group in New York could really change the game for professional sports for women. And football is the one thing that I think could do it. So if you down, I'm down. Let's do it.
I ain't fully down. I got to lose something.
I gotta see what the starting number is.
Yeah, I gotta see what the starting number is.
Oh yeah.
Come on, yeah. Let's go. Let's split this. Yeah, we can put some money together. Yeah, get some people involved.
Yeah, if there's ownership groups.
Yeah, let's do ownership.
Ownership group.
All right. Well, definitely appreciate you for checking in and giving us. And we're gonna stay on top of you and let us know when the games happen, because we would definitely love, and I would love to report some of these games in front page news.
I would love that. We start our games on May 1st of 2021. So our season is in the spring. We try to stay away. Wait a minute, Angela, you ain't buying no team? Because I thought let's make this.
I said me and you together. All
right. Yeah, but no, we start. What'd you say, sister?
You know what I want to ask? This might be a silly question. OG from Basketball Wives, right? She plays football. Where does she play?
No idea.
You know what? Okay. But I do feel like this though. It was a nice representation to see a Black woman on TV who plays football, and that's what she did. Like, and she talked about it all the time, and she was in great, amazing shape. So I don't know if you know her, or she's ever played or tried to play for the WNFC, but that was just a weird question. I was thinking about it. I was like, basketball wise.
No, listen. So here's the thing. There's a lot of different stuff out there. We play the highest level of football. So if you're gonna get out there with the women in the WNFC, you have to be serious. Like, yes, entertainment, but at the same time, for me, the product is the most important thing. Because frankly, when men go watch, when they go to your website, like, it's cute and it's cool and all, but they want to see the game at the highest level. So I think it's great to have a representation of beautiful people and that kind of stuff. But football isn't just beautiful people. If everybody on your line is cute models, you're gonna lose the football game.
Now, I'm with that. We got to get some of those celebrity appearances. We got to get some of them, these brolic women like Nene Leakes, you know what I'm saying? Wendy Williams, to get them out there, you know what I mean?
They don't gotta just be brolic women, man. Just women. What's wrong with you?
Get some of them out there. Now I'm with it. I'm gonna tell Sasha, connect me with you, Odessa, because I'm liking this Carolina Queens thing I'm looking at right now.
I appreciate that. I really appreciate y'all. Like, this has been dope.
Thank you so much, Odessa.
And go to the website. Check it out, WNFCfootball.com, right?
Yep.
Yes, WNFCfootball.com and WNFC on all the socials.
All right. Odessa Jenkins, it's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Thank you.